Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here in Kenai Fjords. I'm at the National Visitor Center, and we have a very interesting guest here, one of the park rangers, and he's going to give us a little talk about what's happening out in the ocean that we should be concerned about.
Ahoy, it's me, the Trash Man, and I here have a bunch of marine debris that I personally collected off the shores of Kenai Fjords National Park. Last year, went out on a volunteer trip and got about 2 tons of trash over the course of 4 days with 10 other volunteers. And I collected some samples that I think really represent what we can find out in the oceans. A lot of the trash we found were plastic water bottles, or bottles in general. And I like these two specifically because they're the same product, but this one's from China, this one's from Egypt. Both were found on the shores of Kenai Fjords National Park.
They've come a long ways.
Well, they traveled quite a long ways. I mean, following the ocean currents, they probably had to go through the North Pacific, up the Alaskan current to get here. The one from Egypt, it could have been in transit and fallen off, or it traveled very long distances to make its way here. After that, we found a bunch of mass-produced goods, just like Crocs, footballs, and even this bicycle helmet I'm wearing. I actually know where this bicycle helmet came from. There was a shipping vessel off Washington State 3 years ago that lost some shipping containers, but one of them contained these helmets. Found about half a dozen more of these helmets, all scattered across our beaches, and so this was the one in the best condition. But a lot of the trash we found here, we also found just torn up, like this, not as good condition.
Is that something biting it?
Yes, I found this just a few weeks ago, and it was sticking up out of the snow, and there were bear tracks around it. So I believe that a bear got into this, which is most likely an oil canister or gasoline canister of some sort. And so unfortunately probably ingested some plastic, hopefully not, but maybe some oil as well. And it's dangerous when all that plastic gets into animals because it can accumulate over time and it can affect the food that we eat. Like over here with the fishing industry, about half of the weight that we found, those 4 tons, 2 tons of them were fishing line, fishing nets, buoys, crab pots.
These are styrofoam.
Yeah, and a lot of these were styrofoam, and so we found a bunch of those. And so the fishing industry is very important. It's a big economy. It feeds a lot of people, but it also produces a lot of waste that will continue to damage animals and can accumulate in them. If we eat them, then we accumulate those plastics as well. And so I have all this out just to bring awareness about why it's important to reduce the amount of waste that we make, to reuse what we do have, whether it's to make artwork out of the trash that we make or to reuse it to different purposes, and then finally recycle. And recycling can be really hard for plastics, especially because many places can't recycle all plastics, and they have to be cleaned thoroughly and properly. And even if there's a bottle cap left on a bottle and you recycle it, if there's enough bottle caps on it, well, you can't recycle any of it and they have to throw it away. It goes to the dump, maybe to burn. And so it's hard to recycle plastics, which is why we try to reduce what we do have.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.